Welcome back to the deep dive.
Great to be diving in again.
So today we're really getting into the nitty-gritty of job interviews, specifically those tougher questions.
Yeah, the ones that can feel a bit tricky, especially maybe if you're an international student or new to the professional scene here.
Exactly. We're building on our last discussion, part one, where we hit the top 5 common questions.
Right. Tell me about yourself. Weakness, why us, the challenge question, and where do you see yourself in 5 years? Standard stuff, but crucial.
And we looked at that source, Von Bunduk Dan, for those. Today, we're using part 2 of that same source.
And the mission today
is to tackle 2 more, maybe slightly more challenging questions. We want to give you the language, the cultural insight, basically help you feel prepared, confident, not, completely stressed out.
Absolutely. Less overwhelm, more confidence. That's the goal.
Okay, first up, why should we hire you? This one sounds straightforward, but it's loaded, isn't it?
It really is. It's your main pitch. They've seen your resume, sure, but this is where you connect the dots for them.
Connect the dots. How so?
Well, it's about showing you get the role, like really understand what they need, and then showing how you specifically meet those needs. It's your value proposition distilled.
Okay, so not just listing skills, but framing them.
Precisely. The source suggests a structure, which is helpful. Start with maybe 2-3 key strengths.
Okay.
And this is the important bit, strengths that directly match the job description.
Right. Relevance is key.
Totally. And then you absolutely need evidence. Don't just say, I'm a great communicator.
You need to prove it.
Yes. Give a specific example. Time you communicated effectively, maybe what the result was. Achievements back up the claims.
Makes sense. Like quantifiable results if you have them.
Oh, definitely. Numbers are great. And then you connect those skills and achievements directly to what the company needs. Show you've thought about their problems or goals.
And anything else.
Yeah. The source also mentions showing you understand and fit the company culture. Briefly mentioning something you admire about their values based on your research.
So it shows you're serious, you've done your homework.
Exactly. It's not just any job you want, it's this job.
Okay, so what should people definitely avoid doing here? What are the pitfalls?
Well, the biggest one is just repeating your resume word for word. They've read it. Add something new, a connection, an insight.
Right. Don't be a parrot.
And avoid really general claims. I'm hardworking. Okay, how? Prove it.
Got it. What else?
Watch the tone. Confidence is good, arrogance is not. It's a fine line sometimes.
Yeah, tricky balance.
And definitely don't compare yourself to other candidates, even hypothetically, like, I'm better than anyone else you'll interview. Big mistake.
Okay, stay focused on your own value.
Exactly, your unique contribution.
The source had a pretty solid example answer, didn't it?
It did. Let me see. Here. You should hire me because I bring a unique combination of data analytics skills and effective communication. Right away, specific skills.
Okay. Which I understand is crucial for this position. Shows understanding. Then the proof. In my most recent role, I analyzed complex data sets, leading to a 20% efficiency increase.
There's that quantifiable result.
Yep. I also presented these findings to non-technical stakeholders. Shows communication skills in action. Additionally, I've researched company thoroughly and truly admire your commitment to company value. That's the culture fit piece.
Nice.
And it ends strong. I believe my background will allow me to contribute value immediately. Confident, but not arrogant.
Yeah, that really ties it all together. It hits all the points. Skills proof, company fit, confident delivery.
That's why it works. It's specific, evidence-based, and tailored.
Okay, great. Let's move to the next one, which can feel particularly pointed for international students or immigrants.
Yes. The question, as an international student immigrant, what challenges do you anticipate facing in this role?
This one feels like there's looking for problems. How do you handle it? It can feel that way, but actually it's often asked to gauge your self-awareness and your problem-solving skills. It's an opportunity, really.
An opportunity.
How to show you're realistic, you've thought ahead, and you're proactive. And importantly, to showcase your resilience.
So what's the strategy?
Yeah.
Do you list challenges?
Yes, but carefully. The source says acknowledge maybe 1 or 2 realistic potential challenges. Things like adjusting to a new work culture, maybe specific communication nuances.
Okay, acknowledge, but don't dwell.
Exactly. Immediately pivot. Talk about how you've handled similar situations before, or what steps you're already taking to address these potential challenges, like taking courses, seeking mentorship, practicing communication.
So you're sure you're already managing it?
Right. And then, this is crucial, turn it into a positive. Highlight the strengths your international background brings.
Like what?
Different perspectives, adaptability, cross-cultural communication skills, resilience, maybe knowledge of other markets. Frame your background as an asset.
I like that, turning a potential negative into a positive.
And maintain that confident, positive attitude throughout the answer.
So what are the big don'ts for this question?
Well, don't say, oh, I don't anticipate any challenges at all. That sounds naive or unprepared.
Right, not realistic.
Definitely. And don't just list a bunch of problems without offering any solutions or strategies. That's just raising red flags.
Okay.
Also, try not to get bogged down in visa details unless they specifically ask. Keep the focus on the role and your ability to perform in it.
And project confidence, right?
Yeah.
Not uncertainty about adapting.
Absolutely. Show you're confident in your ability to learn, adapt, and succeed.
The example answer in the source for this one was also really good.
It was. It went something like, as an international student, I'm aware I might face some challenges like adapting to a new work culture. Acknowledgement.
Okay.
However, I've prepared for this by actively participating in diverse group projects. I've also significantly improved my English skills, proactive steps, and past experience.
Good.
I believe my multicultural background is actually an advantage. Here's the pivot to strength.
The reframe.
Exactly. Allowing me to bring unique perspectives. For example, in an internship, I use my knowledge of international markets to suggest a strategy. Specific example of the advantage in action.
Powerful.
And it finishes positively. I'm committed to continuing to learn and adapt. The diversity in my experience will be a valuable asset. Shows growth mindset and value.
Yeah, that's a really smart way to handle it. Acknowledges, pivots, provides proof, and strong.
It ticks all the boxes. Self-aware, proactive, positive, and turns the potential issue into a unique selling point.
Now, beyond these specific questions, the source gave some general tips, especially for non-native English speakers, which I think are super helpful.
Yeah, some really practical advice there. Language strategies first.
It was the main takeaway.
Clarity over complexity. That was the big one. Use language you're comfortable with. Simple, direct sentences are often much more effective than trying to use complex words you might stumble over.
Right. Better to be understood than to sound fancy but confusing.
Precisely. The example was like, say I led the team that created a new approach. Instead of, I orchestrated the implementation of an innovative methodology.
Much clearer.
And preparation helps here too. Practice key phrases for common questions. It builds fluency and confidence.
Just having those ready to go?
Yeah. And slow down, speak clearly, don't rush. It helps the interviewer understand you better.
Okay. And what about misunderstandings? They happen.
Oh, absolutely. And the key thing is, it's okay to ask for clarification. Don't just guess.
Easier said than done sometimes. Maybe you feel embarrassed.
It can feel awkward, but it's much better than answering the wrong question. The source gives phrases like, could you please rephrase that? Or, I'm not sure I understood. Are you asking about?
Simple ways to check.
Or even, could you explain what you mean by term? It shows you're engaged and want to give a relevant answer. Never pretend to understand.
Good advice. Then there was cultural awareness, different expectations in, say, American interviews.
Definitely. Little things can make a difference. Eye contact important, but don't stare. Firm handshake. Arriving a bit early, like 10-15 minutes. Showing confidence, but again, not arrogance.
And asking questions.
Yes. Prepare questions for them. Shows you're interested, you're engaged.
And a key cultural point the source mentioned was about discussing achievements.
Yes. In some cultures, talking about your successes can feel like boasting. But in many Western contexts, particularly the US, confidently explaining your accomplishments is expected. It's seen as providing necessary information, not bragging.
So you need to be comfortable highlighting what you've done.
You do. It's part of selling yourself for the role.
And finally, preparation techniques. Any specific recommendations?
Recording yourself is huge. Answer questions out loud, record it, then listen back.
What are you listening for?
Pronunciation, pace, filler words, those ums and usle. It helps you spot areas to improve.
Makes sense. Seeing yourself as others might.
Exactly. And practice with others if you can. Native speakers, friends, career advisors. Get feedback. And do that research on the company and industry language. Knowing the terminology helps you feel and sound more confident.
So putting it all together from both our deep dives, we've covered a lot of ground. They tell me about yourself, weakness, why this company, the challenge question, the 5-year plan.
And today, the why hire me and the challenges as an international candidate questions. That's 7 key areas.
What's a good way for listeners to actually practice all this?
The source had a good process. First, actually write out your answers. Think them through.
Get the core ideas down.
Yeah. Then practice saying them out loud, not memorizing like a script, but until they feel natural, comfortable.
Fluent, not robotic.
Right. Use that recording technique we just talked about. Listen, refine, get feedback if possible.
And maybe simulate the interview.
Yeah, that's the last step.
Yeah.
Dress the part, sit down formally, try to recreate the feeling a bit. It helps reduce anxiety on the actual day.
It really sounds like the goal isn't perfect memorization, is it?
Not at all. It's about understanding what they're really asking with each question and then being able to clearly communicate your specific value, your skills, your experiences in a confident way.
And for international candidates listening, it's also about remembering the unique strengths they bring, isn't it?
Absolutely critical. Your diverse perspective, your adaptability, your resilience. Just getting to the point of interviewing in a new country often demonstrates incredible skills that employers value. Don't underestimate that.
That's a great point. Your journey itself is a testament to your capabilities.
Exactly. Frame it that way in your own mind, too.
Well, this has been incredibly insightful. If you found this useful, remember Part 1 covering the first 5 questions is available. Check the description for the link.
And stay tuned because we've got a deep dive coming up on mastering small talk in professional settings, another crucial skill.
Definitely. So if this helped, please give us a like, maybe share it with others who might be going through the job search process, especially fellow international students or immigrants.
Yeah, spread the knowledge.
And let us know in the comments. What other areas of professional English communication would you like us to tackle in future deep dives? We'd love your suggestions.
Looking forward to hearing from you. Remember, it all comes down to confidence in how you communicate your value.
Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in to The Deep Dive.